I desired that feeling of knowing that if I disappeared, people would miss
I
me.
feel we have two more wonderful angels watching over us now.
I didn't feel right afterward, and even this morning still felt shaky.
I feel really twists the knife in a method unique to Clark comes on her track dialect.
I don't feel like grinding right then. I just use my hands and crack them into a tall glass jar and put it in the fridge.
I just feel like life is just going in the right direction for me right now.
I feel completely out of place when I actually do find myself in a social situation.
I've been back to boating for 2 months now and it feels good again.
I'm in awe of the feeling of empowerment that flows through me just knowing that I've stared it in the face and I've won just for these few days.
I am actually getting paid to be here, but I can't help the way I feel right now. I'm missing my family, as if I've been gone for over a year.
I had to take a second while the ink on our newly signed distribution contract is still wet to share some feelings around this new development here at Backlash.
I didn't feel sad.
I feel sad just thinking about it.
I have these overwhelming feelings that I couldn't control. I get caught up and I end up letting my guard down.
I eat is invariably too chewy or too bitter or has that horrid waxy feeling going on, and I will be disappointed once more.
I feel bad for pushing her so hard, but the above smile makes me realize it is working and it is worth it.
I'm to depart. I start to feel like I'm coming down with something.
I feel it when I can sit down and read through a novel of my choice.
I can't wait to hold the heaven-sent child that the Lord has entrusted me, and Danny to care for, love and teach, which I sometimes feel so inadequate of.
I feel like heading down to Topka's Mayfair to buy more goodies.
I wear the hat because I am sad, or do I feel I sad because I wear the hat?
I still feel like I'm poor for some odd reason.
See young Chinese women wearing glaucoma-colored contact lenses. I also feel sorry for them, but for very different reasons.
I guess the thing with babies is that I never feel a real connection with them.
I look at how happy Masu looks when eating. I even start to feel all warm and comfy.
I went out in Brisbane when it didn't 100 feel right.
I feel blessed to have a hubby and a team that wants it to be what it needs to be.
I turn on something inspiring from the world of music, and when I am done I feel alive and inspired.
I'm not sure why I feel so enlightened high, however I need to act fast before my high turns back into a low.
I feel I've learned a lot more with this round of revision.
I realized that although I had feelings not to go last night, I still went and experienced the true authenticity shining out behind the clouds.
I am just so lucky to have people in my life that understand and keep telling me that how I am feeling and thinking is normal.
I could feel superior, not a good thing, but as I said, I was in arrogance mode.
I am so grateful that even though I don't have all the things I feel like a socially acceptable person keeps in her closet, I have enough to give to people who truly don't have what they need.
I know it's kinda funny, but what can I do? This is exactly what I'm feeling right now.
I feel like we're just on a very long vacation and our apartment back in SF is still waiting for us to come home.
I don't know why, but I'm not feeling too well today. Pretty darn horrible actually. Might be the weather. I can feel the fitness seeping and leaking out of my body as this week has conspired with work and other obligations to keep my body from joining my mind out on the road with my bikes.
That feeling I was immediately taken to our multiple hospital stays with our baby. I surely tried many times to speak to her what was in my heart about her, what I feel in her, but never came up with that guts.
His wife while they were teaching.
I feel lighter for having less stuff and take a real satisfaction and pride in the fact that everything that remains in the flat looks neat and tidy and is in its proper place. I don't know if one can control how they feel about things or the emotions that they have, but you can control your reaction to those feelings.
I've got shingles. I just want to focus on getting rid of them as quickly as possible and get back to working out and feeling my body get stronger and be all that I can be.
I'm getting off to Europe in a little over a week now, so feeling very stressed and unorganized about everything.
I feel so bad for the other girls who aren't getting their best.
I feel strange about putting a vintage or toy camera effect on every image.
Unsafe at a workplace.
I have to say that it feels weird to be finishing up at work.
I feel like I haven't posted about the second pregnancy at all. Kinda makes me feel bad.
Offers when I think about my natural gift for improving my
It gives me all kinds of words, thoughts, phrases, and ideas in my head that I feel exhausted.
I feel embarrassed to call myself an author when I see this, yet also know how hard it is to get these reviews.
I started to open up in the group and got the feeling like I was getting
I made it through the detoxing the feeling sick, the shame and guilt, and walked into the feeling better, feeling whole and feeling whole, feeling whole, feeling whole, feeling whole.
I've also picked up a VP position in Society of Physics Students, which I feel like is a very different type of organization because we only meet twice a month.
I'd rather be at work than sitting here in my apartment alone feeling like a truck.
I feel that when I write I am releasing what I have been keeping inside.
I keep thinking about the upcoming months of school, how alone and small I feel. Last semester I didn't push myself to start my dream because of these feelings, and I wish I could change
I
that.
don't feel interesting, say you have brought me here to exactly want to do.
I don't really like the feeling, but it will be worth it if things pan out the way I hope.
I don't feel completely clean until I do
I
this.
feel semi-socially awkward all the time, but in a good way, in the way the troll meant
I'm not letting it feel like it is 90 or 100% not
I have
fine.
noticed a very positive change in how I cope with negative feelings.
I feel like there was a time when those songs would only be played in clubs, not topping radio
I will
charts.
continue to surround myself with inspiring and talented people who don't feel the need to bully others to get
I
ahead.
selfishly want that feeling of doing that for someone I love
I'm
again.
not trying to be an extreme goop owner, but I feel like it's worth putting a little effort into if I can save some money on things we'd normally buy.
I started feeling icky the morning Cartman and I'll be left.
I am feeling like I am inadequate.
I'm feeling down in the dumps in the middle of winter. I think of the story where Toad is at home hibernating under the covers and Frog keeps trying to wake him up.
I feel like Leo chasing Atalanta has used the launch in the past as her racer.
I have been feeling kind of down about my appearance lately.
I feel used by them. I feel like a step stool and I don't want to bring my boyfriend around them for 2 reasons. 1.
I feel it every day. I don't like the things I used to like. The people I used to look up to have changed. The music, the way I go about my everyday is different than it was only a year ago.
I do not feel sorry for Rashid being made to lie, because he was part of the whole elaborate scheme to stop the use of the indelible ink.
I started feeling really hungry. I'm talking ravenous.
I feel really inadequate at times. The patients that we have cared for have looked at us as if we were the most important doctors in the world.
I feel so lost these days.
I feel like a bloody dumpling, so I decided to search the web to cheer my mood up. I feel awkward going back and visiting.
I am restless. I feel lethargic and rudderless. I feel as though I now know David in an entirely different way, and lucky for him I still like him.
I'd feel bad taking up valuable space when there's other people who'd appreciate it much more than me.
I feel very uncomfortable looking at these.
I walked away feeling perplexed.
I feel sorry for those artists who sit in an empty gallery.
I am starting to feel yucky again, unmotivated and unsure of what my future may hold.
I'm feeling hopeful that my life is headed in the right direction.
I started to feel a little weird about that.
I have never had to wait for rain, but I do feel like all of us at different times in our lives
I could go back and visit my old work without feeling a division.
I encounter something like that, it gives me a warm feeling inside, like my chest is on fire or I get goosebumps. I still struggle walking from class to class. I feel a lot more desire to do things.
I talked about my feelings and disregarded others' feelings.
I didn't exactly think of drawing, painting, whatever you feel like calling it.
I haven't posted in over 2 months, and right now I just feel like it.
I kept on telling my mother the truth of my writings, and it took my mother 2 minutes to forget this, keeping on telling me about her misunderstandings, not being able to control her feelings.
I have a lot of inner feelings, but I don't feel like expressing here.
I'm going to give a couple of sneak peeks. I feel like I'm presenting some sort of movie to you.
I love to rub my hand across it because it feels so soft to the touch.
I can come home and drop my bag in the middle of the living room. I can leave dishes on the counter, unload the dishwasher whenever I feel like it.
I have always wanted a cupcake set. I just love feeling the marbles in my hand and the sound when you drop the marbles into the wooden holes.
I feel less sore.
I feel that only by letting go of yesterday's problems and disappointments can we truly take advantage of tomorrow's promise.
I did not feel that Stephen King was trying to win American Christians to his side by including this rather awful moment to the movie.
I feel this need because I just feel like this is a subtly major moment.
I do feel as that you would need another airport.
I want and just come back when I feel the need
I feel as though my world is collapsing in on me.
I don't understand why I feel like this.
I feel schizo sometimes, while I feel really crazy myself.
I began feeling the moment I went into labor. I'm feeling very underconfident in identifying my peak.
I feel somewhat guilty after using.
I do feel guilty when I refuse to do things that if as an adult they want to do whatever they want whenever they want. They can't then expect me to be there.
I picked another kid. We all know they cost a little more, so I am
feel
feeling
deeply
guilty.
uncomfortable when there is too much to be done in my life.
I might be blaming myself and feeling very vulnerable right now, but these feelings will pass.
I just feel so surrounded by. I hear the stereotypes. I feel a lot less guilty.
I shouldn't feel guilty about needing this time with myself to spew these words out onto these keys and turn them into something visible on this screen. I took it and freaking hope that tomorrow morning I won't
feel guilty
sicker.
too because of some reason. I'm so sorry, maybe I'm not the perfect one.
I have been feeling guilty about eating meat for a long time subconsciously, even though I only had a conscious repulsion towards raw meat.
I feel guilty and alone.
I feel saying I can't shows faults in my desire to reach my dream. I feel myself to ignore those who doesn't care about me.
I think I deserve everything I get, even this morbid feeling of love.
Feeling all throughout the day.
It's not that I could still feel the popping in my brain.
I'm not feeling after the holiday.
I feel most like myself when I run. I am at peace with who I am and who I want to be.
I was right along with him all week, but a nagging feeling is causing me to go with the underdog just like I did last week with Detroit.
I have a party I am supposed to go to tonight and I am just not feeling
I feel like every morning that I wake up I should be incredibly grateful to still be alive.
I don't feel there is a need to add more to that stock.
I know how many others feel the same about this great place we call home.
I shared a preview of the ZOYA Feel collection. I love myself no matter what I'm feeling.
I don't know what to feel when I think about what people, especially my teachers, will think about me.
I didn't really feel the need to purchase the pattern as it was quite easy to see how each block was built.
I want to let go of those who made me feel worthless and keep those who make me smile.
I mean, why does it have to feel so pleasant?
I speak to you in riddles cause my words get in the way of my waving hand and I'm feeling nostalgic about the seemingly easier days of high school teenager.
On the side of caution, I'm bumping up my usual immune support.
I had just been feeling this way for so long that I wanted her to understand, and I just don't think she will, and that is hard for me.
Being sick, but I still have a faint cough and stuffy nose, but it'll go away really soon, I'm sure.
There is a feeling of conviction in as much as I say a time to myself without feeling.
I don't know about you, but I certainly know that I always feel better about myself when I am giving my all and fully apply myself to something.
So precious to what is in store for me in 2012. I never want to relive a year like 2011 ever again.
I do know, however, that I can build and maintain the healthy habits that would allow me to lose that kind of weight if my body feels like cooperating.
I am not feeling well after signing in. I get to sit in a waiting room full of a bunch of other people,
I've always
most of them
felt
not
like it would
feeling
be
well.
too controlling to tell my so what I feel is the appropriate way or amount of communication with his ex that is appropriate.
I was hit by a lot of pent-up feelings that I've been smothering for a long time now, and they aren't going away.
I didn't really feel any feelings of jealousy when I saw them, especially when they changed the gross diapers.
I was feeling frustrated at how far I have to go before I will be stronger, thinner, and fitting into my clothes.
I was too lazy last year. I should try to concentrate better and learn new things.
I've
and
made
facts.
some progress because it is easy for me to get stuck in the trap of thinking that I'm going nowhere fast and then getting discouraged and left feeling hopeless.
I do feel some fetal movement or something else.
I feel very accomplished today.
I figured I'd share a project I am pretty proud of today to make me feel better.
I do think I know why I am feeling less rested and not ready to go back to school.
I didn't feel much better again, woke up feeling tired like hell and busy back to my family.
I feel I've been able to focus on my importance better. Personally, homemade cards.
I'm talking about sorry, but just come talk to me. Yeah, and if you don't like my writing, I don't care because I write for myself and to feel better, not for anyone else.
I'm feeling better 3 days ago.
I'm sure it will help you feel better if you aren't feeling 110.
I know for a fact that I will be happier if I accomplish this annoying habit because I will feel fulfilled.
I feel pretty good, and I'm listening to Croctan's Choice.
I completed a few sessions without accident and I was starting to feel pretty confident in the Super Cossack Pro's ability to deal with the cold, damp conditions.
I desire to constantly move forward, but I feel like there is a wall somewhere very close that I will reach too soon, a very tall wall with a sign. No paralegals beyond this point.
I feel as though I've become closer to my readers. It feels like all of you are my extended family.
I don't know who the featured voice is, but he does an amazing job of making you feel pumped up and excited for what's coming up.
I feel there's a collision of two artistic worlds where one most certainly loses.
I'm working to recover what happened to me by processing the feelings and the reality of my life.
I can't change may begin to ebb. I may end up able to focus on more productive things with a clearer mind and a good connection to my feelings.
I feel like I am losing what I had just realized I was enjoying.
I feel a little better. I shower, I work out. Me and my 3-year-old nephew do Zumba so cute. And I still drink Mountain Dew.
I'm hoping that I'll be feeling much better very soon and back to producing cards regularly.
I feel better living on this diet and never have to worry about eating too much.
I feel cool as much as anyone else, but I just can't pull it off for the most part.
I'm partly feeling annoyed that I only got one book read better than nothing.
I am not sure why, but I feel refreshed with the change.
I feel now more than ever that I'm going to be okay.
I'm eating well and drinking less since Sunday, and I'm feeling so much better.
I always feel better if I feel like I've accomplished something.
I want to feel calm. I should engage in something calm.
I try to maintain some order in our common living and dining areas because it makes the time after they're in bed feel more gloriously serene.
I feel I should mention that I am well aware of the difficulties that men face with dating, approaching women, etc.
I'm feeling that I want to make a better attempt to exercise regularly to both help me regain some physical strength and possibly help me with my
I have a feeling no one beats my blog. It's all good though. I am excited for this year because I have a feeling that this year is going to be great.
I feel great, which is obviously carry over from the cycling.
I'm feeling fairly confident about, but I need to run through it a few more times as checkouts can be tricky, as I found out last term.
I will mismatch my earrings if I feel like it.
I mean, is this all wrong of me to feel that we're the only hard mom that feels these feelings and think this way?
I think I will continue to worry about doing things right as a first-time parent when I still feel like I don't know what I am doing.
I turned 32 on Monday and physically feel about 70 now.
I believe you're somewhere there, so I can't feel it.
I feel like I'm going to be shunned for saying this, but hear me out.
I decided to write him a letter because I couldn't think of another way to get my feelings out.
I was so sick I buried feelings, fears, sadness because I literally felt like I couldn't deal with them in my state.
I feel that rumbling through the stress is putting tensions in place.
I don't feel like cleaning my house. I just want to rest a little bit.
I feel like it was just yesterday, but the nurse brought us all on bundler baby with wild dark hair with a white and flat nose, her pouty lips and virgin eyes.
I wonder if anybody else feels quite the same way about a new year as I do.
I'm feeling and can't stop licking him.
I know that
They are awesome people in entirety, but applying the same feeling to myself.
I feel just like her.
I am barely 2 words into my life sentence, yet I feel as if it has lasted a whole paragraph.
I HV come to respect and fear my gut feeling.
I am hoping that therapists and other clinicians will stop misinterpreting what dead patients are trying to say, even if the patients are convinced that they are feeling fat.
I feel it truly is something you should think about performing
immediately inside your organization.
I can make it here and build a reputation for CGM. I feel like the sky is the limit for us.
I feel like people underestimate education.
I just want to feel the warm sunshine and run and play and muzzle with my family.
I knew I needed this. I was feeling fiery and knew that this was not going to go well.
I don't want to feel like a failure on 12.
I feel better than I sound.
I just feel like I fell in love with this boy 10 years ago. He was a 1920 then, and though he's grown tremendously in many ways, his core being is still the same.
To evangelize,
I have a
nobody ever
feeling
pay
that both the
attention to
people
what I
that
say
I have
anyway.
known my whole life and the ones I just met sometimes look at me and wonder, how did she get to be all suzzy.
I have done in a while, and am quite enjoying being awake, alert, and in minimal amounts of discomfort.
I can feel her soft cheek against mine as we hug.
I feel like Davies could improve the boots with the addition of replaceable hard parts like the high-end city boots offer.
I have realized that some of the blandness that I feel can be addressed by color and lovely small objects that make me smile.
I was feeling devilish.
I think I'll stick with my starving artists group and feel the pride of an occasional sale instead of giving it away.
I didn't feel like it was quite as noticeable before when I still had the expander in, but now that I am completely flat on one side and concave to
I remember that spring 2011's academic year was not spectacular only because I didn't feel as if I put my 100 into it and still maintained my GPA.
I came in contact with at the bank was friendly and nice, but I have to say they didn't really make me feel welcome.
I love the feeling of accomplishment that getting a degree brought me, and of course the actual learning that took place in the process of getting that degree is priceless to me.
I am gearing up for Tucson, and for once I don't feel any show stress.
I don't even think about it and feel like I need to get back to it after a disruption.
I feel strongly that this beer is going to end up changing my life in some small but significant way.
I don't really feel like I can't do anything. I don't even know what the fuck is wrong with me anymore.
I feel during this month, especially since I'm following it with a no processed foods and no added sugar month, and then going back to being a regular pescatarian.
I feel like Solomon.
I feel like I am in control of my eating habits for the first time in many years.
I said I feel left behind, and he said join the club.
I feel a space in which to express some of what has
I feel
recently happened.
like it is about time to give you an eviction notice.
I woke up feeling like a failure of a teacher and like my life has no purpose.
I feel a gentle fury well up within me as I grip back at him unbridled no.
I feel obligated to chronicle my ups and downs.
I still have so much feeling for the car, and I want to drive it as fast as I can.
I feel like I'm keeping up the friendship and that they aren't really interested.
I have a feeling that as we approach the presidential elections next year, there will only be more upset here.
I still feel achy.
I feel that I owe that to you.
I only have a few friends in Facebook, and even in this little circle friends that I have, I still feel envious to them.
I feel like a broken record, but where does the time go?
I feel different somehow.
I whisper your name silently, but it feels loud. The stars start to sulk as soon as they hear you. The moon thought.
I decided to add a lightweight pair of knit pants to his ensemble. Unfortunately, I think the added layer made him feel more comfortable and confident, and that was when a few accidents occurred.
I just feel really bad for my mom and stepdad who are caught in the middle.
I feel it will be extremely different again next January.
I just feel weird about celebrating my birthday after my birthday.
I'm going to try to get out and about and have some of that fun that we weren't having all week while we were feeling crappy.
I eat shitty food, I feel shitty, so why would I do that to myself? I thought that this part was the most important because I really care about my writing, art, etc. and every day I feel like I should be doing something productive, creative instead of slacking.
I am feeling stubborn about choosing it because I had to give up a few names that I was in love with because he didn't like them.
I really feel like this is a big year coming up. I'm feeling a tad proud about the whole using the scraps up thing.
I feel lucky that I'm able to say that once again.
I do not feel pressure or even responsibility to find a new job to help pay. I feel as lucky as it sounds.
I get this warm feeling that just seems magical.
I feel so lucky to be Jesus' friend.
I love feeling so deeply moved and motivated by something that it just leaves me feeling empowered and ready to take on the world.
I visit this city so many times I feel like home.
I feel like body image has been on my mind a lot lately.
I want to do it now.
I feel about it all, to be honest.
I feel guided.
I want to go out and feel comfortable knowing that I can take care of myself.
I suddenly feel like a drowned person who's been thrown a flotation device.
I also feel like I am living life on the inside looking out.
I feel that some things in my dreams keep me thinking and pondering for hours, sometimes days, even weeks.
I'm learning to associate that feeling with a gas.
I feel that I can relate to this saying.
I have come a long way, but I still don't feel like I'm living up to my full potential.
I feel nervous and unsure and full of questions most of the time, but overall it was good.
I feel like many people maybe do that. We are just supposed to be okay.
I thought I had gotten over it, but recently I've been feeling more and more anxious about trying to communicate with others the epic imagery, atmospheres and landscapes I see in my imagination.
I feel like it's an interesting project to take on.
I can't fight this feeling any longer, and yet I'm still afraid to let it flow. What started out as friendship has grown stronger. I only weep.
And desperate need around me.
I just feel gross and miserable all around and helpless, but I didn't used to be a winning baby.
I feel overwhelmed with gratitude.
I feel we forget to love one another because of our differences, and especially if you're deemed to be an outcast.
I'm not feeling gloomy and defeated the Rev.
I tried to soak up every minute of it that I could, and like always I ended up feeling overwhelmed and worn out by the time it was all over.
I say true things too, but these always feel so hollow and silly, even though they are something close to everything for me.
I've been struggling a bit with feeling lonely here in the city as of late, and it's been really nice to have a quick conversation starter involving two things. I feel like I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off one day and falling asleep for an unplanned 2 hour nap the next.
I didn't feel frightened. I'm rarely scared of any place, but I couldn't help feeling uneasy in the company of so many big groups of men, and the only woman visible
I feel like
anywhere.
talking to yourself is lumped into the area of crazy, but it actually makes me
like
less
a crazy person because I'm terrified that something
I
bad
read
is going
blogs
to
of
happen.
pregnant women, and they always have so many interesting things to say about how they are feeling and their crazy cravings and other things like that.
I have started using Care Solution is distributed by shopping centers. Special feel well after the use.
I love the feeling of all that's gone loose in the joints, so I try to emulate that. I am learning that I am someone who can feel other people's energy as well.
Feeling well lately, so I have to find some nail polish to brighten my day. Maybe it would make me
I
feel
have a
better.
kind of infection around where the pacemaker was implanted, and said that the discomfort I'm feeling will probably never
I
get any
type
better.
on my blog in hopes that this feeling will pass, and soon I will be able to turn out the lights and rest my eyes and body.
I just want to feel like you love me.
I have a feeling this year will be busier for me, but I'm going to face them with an optimistic mindset and a smile.
I wasn't really feeling a lot of 1-2-1-2.
I feel a bit like a WW2 bomber pilot worried about Flacon being shot down in flames.
I hear these songs, I feel motivated.
I feel lucky that if I have to get a tune stuck in my head while driving, it involves Al Green crooning I get high, I get high, I get high.
I just wonder and understand that maybe they did what they did to escape that empty feeling.
I want to do and feel I am.
I feel like I just blabbered and made no sense at all.
I feel somehow if I persevere through this I can actually make it through this year.
I am feeling really optimistic about my new find.
I feel that I had gone to a world of complete strangers.
I feel happy when people say, "Oh my goodness, that was so delicious," Philota said. I actually feel the best I've felt all day.
I was feeling pretty good riding with my long shadow.
I didn't feel ready at all.
I usually give little things to anybody who I think deserves or does not deserves my help, but still I feel that it's not enough to be a good Samaritan.
I go through the motions and sometimes just for a split second I actually forget about everything and act and
I
feel
know
like
that
my
have to
own
do
self.
largely with the fact that any feelings romantic or sexual I have
I guess
successfully
I get
hidden
the
from
feeling
myself.
that the deep stuff makes her uncomfortable, but I think she knows for most of our other friendships that's
I
kind
can
of the role I
almost
take
feel
on.
his lips moving on my neck and the hardness of his cheeks against my shoulder when he smiled so big, so proud of himself for
I never
mastering
know
such
what
a
the
big
feeling
word.
will put me through, for they are all strong.
I feel
even
like in
the
real
weak
life
ones.
I'm more of the one that needs more time, I guess, to build
I
a
know
strong
what it feels
relationship.
like to walk ankle deep in the flooded streets, and I know the misters that spray the produce in the manager on
I
North
really liked the
Prospect
other ideas
Avenue.
we came up with. I just couldn't shake the feeling that I
feel
needed
like
to
a
write about her.
5-year-old that just got her ice cream taken away and stubbornly won't talk to my mom.
I feel
because
totally
I'm
unworthy looking at his creation and its beauty, knowing he wants to a relationship with me even after I fail so many times and fall into sin.
Past the 50-year-old yard line, I feel like genes keep me from getting too old too quickly.
I feel a hollowness that drags at me and I am so tired and empty.
I think I started to feel depressed because of how obviously depressed I was.
I feel like I hurt him more than he hurt me, and my hurting plus the hurt he caused me was painful.
I feel like you get tired or bored or annoyed of talking to me, so you find a way to avoid texting me.
I feel terribly tired.
I need to make a strategy about school lunches and eating when I feel tired.
I read a blog today which started me reminiscing about my dad, and now I feel compelled to share my feelings with you.
I feel at this point all is legal, now waiting for the last of the ice and teas to be done.
I feel so obligated to do so is even a mystery to me.
I feel less inclined to rethink my thoughts because we have discussions about my worries and fears.
I may even feel enough accomplishment to keep going with other tasks, but I have not committed myself to it, hence I can avoid feeling overwhelmed.
I feel ate up with this vast hole that never fills.
I feel like a year is a gift and 5 years like a lifetime.
I don't mind, it makes me feel like I'm home.
I'm not someone who feels that they have to go to a foreign country or another culture to look for inspiration. Christopher Bailey.
I long to be home to the wide open feeling of Colorado with its high ceiling and views that stretch forever and its culture of athletes and being outdoors.
I guarantee you I will feel your ABS the next day.
I find traces of similar feelings during this final trimester.
I feel rushing heat enter my veins at the point of insertion.
I was overwhelmed by feelings of inferiority and struggled at almost every subject.
I don't need sleep or to feel guilty if I do.
I'm not technically still a newlywed hubby, and I still feel like
I feel like my replies are only going to be seen by that one person, if that and not by all.
I feel this place is confining.
I will give him advice I can give, and I will not mix that all with my own feelings.
I feel I am just learning my alphabet and am expected to read the text of a college manual, and not only do that but understand
I just
its
can't
principles.
feel anything.
I love the feeling and would love for it to continue.
I visit without feeling the need to agree with their opinions.
I feel that I have to get it out.
I love Emma, but I'm not feeling this leprechaun-themed outfit here.
I feel about January.
I feel like she was just born.
I do feel the bruise a little when I did my nail into it, but then you would. I feel I can truly breathe easy.
I hear that I would say scared, excited feeling.
I know how I feel, but I often wonder how Mike is feeling.
I feel and what I'd like to see happen.
I feel like it's unfair of me to charge the same price for choice when it is so short in comparison to touch.
I feel any weirdness I can come back in for art.
I want to bring the
feelings of the four of us together.
I feel that I do what is expected of me too much, that I try to please to the detriment of myself.
I thought I was sure it had gone. The confidence in myself was gone, and the feeling that no one cared was hard to ignore despite it being a ridiculous notion.
I felt amazing. When I put my beautiful dress on, I could have conquered the world on my wedding day with that feeling.
I am feeling it in my
I sigh and shake away the feeling.
I feel like I haven't been very transparent.
I just have this nagging feeling that I am nothing I want to be. I said at the start a toughie to call, but I feel the trading angle is based on Norwich's stats.
I do not feel homely at this place.
I guess I really am concentrating on feeling good rather than looking good.
I didn't start to teach my daughter anything about the housework because I feel that she's still so young for it.
I feel absolutely fantastic.
I don't feel obliged to be his slave anymore. Feeling generous. I tried to assume that Domino just doesn't want to pat itself on the back.
I feel pretty good during the day when I am up and moving around.
I feel good.
I finish something and can look at it and pet it and admire it. I feel
I put
pretty
together
good.
a menu that feels worthy of company.
I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but I feel like the Chimako and I have a closer relationship now than we have had in previous years.
I don't usually do year in review memes, but I feel like it right now. I feel a unique host.
I believe him to be the one that made me feel good enough and worthy enough to go to the temple and to serve a mission.
I'm feeling good about so much, not so good about a few things.
I was the only one who could make him smile and feel really happy.
I can feel all the nutrients doing happy things and making me energetic again.
I guess at the end of the day it all boils down to how you feel about your life on the inside, finding those things that make you happy.
I'm in a great place in my life and feel full of energy and optimism.
I am feeling pretty confident about the test.
I feel happy for his success.
I feel capable, optimistic, and untroubled.
I feel like we share a moment through some kind of experience where we completely and utterly understand each other.
I really started feeling way too scheduled.
I can feel that sense of confusion as to why he does what does or feels the way he feels as he speaks.
I also suffer from a lot of pain at night, especially when I relax. I really feel the pain.
I first heard that this would be the matchup, and it still feels that way to me.
I don't feel the spirit of Christmas.
I feel smarter though more pressurized and tired and all that, but I feel happy.
I am forlorn or feeling absolutely fabulously. I resolve to right away.
I feel like there are neon arrows surrounding me that point to my palm, and they all say, look, she's different.
I am destined to never feel again.
I am already feeling the love in the air.
I think it's weird how I say how I feel and nobody takes me seriously.
I imagine him crying softly to himself as he writes
sad poetry about how I hurt his feelings. I'd like so I feel this was a waste.
I don't feel like writing much today.
I do not know why, but I can't shake the feeling that 2012 is going to be a pivotal year in my life.
I went through yesterday afternoon feeling as though
I feel like numbering makes things turn official too damn serious when all I want to do is write as my mind flows right now.
I believe that love recognizes flaws but never allows them to change their feelings, recognizing they have faults of their own.
I'm blocking my own feelings, so.
I love them and I feel grateful for this blessed family.
I guess I can log out and feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder.
I'm feeling focused and refreshed, ready to tackle it one step at a time.
I feel very grateful for beautiful days and walks with my most excitable little girl.
I write these books. I feel most inspired while sitting by this river in this cabin and hiking the deep woods nearby.
I'm feeling pretty fly.
I have less than 10 minutes to 2012 and I am feeling hopeful and grateful.
I woke up feeling very inspired.
I feel inspired and have a beautiful crystal glass with some amber-colored, wonderfully aromatic liquid still in it. I have to save the story about the trout-souled relative for another time.
I am still feeling positive.
I'm feeling very positive.
I didn't feel so great and even slept in all 3 pairs of my lashes.
I feel compelled to follow through.
I feel like saying, why so serious?